Hi, and welcome to the Compass Rose Learning Center. You may be asking, why would I create such a program? The answer is very simple. I needed to save myself, and I needed to save my soul. And here's what precipitated the whole question of why do we do the things that we do. I naively, yet not so naively, drifted into the lair of what Forbes magazine dubbed the Billionaire Boys Club. Through my tenacity and determination, I managed to get inside with my foot in the door. I got in far enough to see what many would not want me to see. They told me to leave. Oh, and on the way out, they said, shut the door quietly. People die for doing what I did, not shutting the door quietly. Accidents happen when you defy and threaten to expose, especially when millions are at stake, and accidents did happen. I was afraid, but I had known fear all of my life, so this fear was not an earth-shattering fear of feeling I would lose my life at any moment, although someone did lose his life. I did not need anyone to take me down. I was taking myself down. I had reached rock bottom, far enough down for me to want to check out. I guess at the time I was lucky enough, or quite simply not that much of a threat to anyone, so no one tried. But maybe unsuspectingly they did. They kept an eye on me, that I know. The dreadlock guy, as I shall name him, started calling. He was part of the dance. He would call every so often and talk about the event. He was always smooth-talking me, trying to elicit bits of information. I believe he wanted to see if I really was a threat. I wasn't sure until a year later when he showed up on my doorstep, firmly planted in the heart of California wine country. I was hiding. I was out of the way and out of the mainstream. Yet there he was, fabricating a ridiculous story about the cleaner he had in his hand and how it amazingly cleaned concrete. The look on my face, the glint in my eye, unnerved him. I could see it. He looked at me quizzically. He made his point, though. His warning shot off my bow was fired, and then he stood, leapt off the step, and flew down the lane. Believe it or not, he still called, and the calls lasted for about a year, until August of 1994, when his last communication with me ended in disgust. He could no longer get near me. The Italians, he said, were protecting me. Well, that explained a lot. It explained why all of a sudden a nice-looking, very concerned guy from Italy also showed up on my doorstep about 3 months prior to the last phone call. I wasn't sure what he wanted. A good friend in the Bay Area introduced him to me, and I trusted her. So when he asked me to dinner, the theater, or just to have coffee, I went. We had many pleasant conversations, and since he knew of my endeavor to engage with the Billionaire Boys Club, we talked a lot about the America's Cup, talked a lot about how to get back up on my feet. He seemed to be sincere in trying to help me without really helping. Yes, my endeavor to enter an all-women's team in sailing's most prestigious sporting event ended in failure for me. Although the endeavor was successful, it was in part because even when I was told to leave and shut the door quietly, I still pushed. Yes, I kept pushing until I could push no more. I had run out of everything, even my desire to live. And to think I was being protected by Italians. A gold digger murdered my father, son of an Italian immigrant, because he was weak of mind and spirit. My mother, a wealthy blue-blood heiress by birth, was angry and full of rage because she felt cheated by her family who denied her. My uncle from my mother's adoptive family, who was paid to raise her, had a penchant for young girls, namely me. And these are the influences of my life, the characters on my life stage that taught me fear, defiance, bravado, and instilled in me the belief that I deserved to fail in all aspects of life. I came to know fear at an early age, a time when I should have been learning unconditional love, trust, and respect. So this is my story of how I came to the place of defying, of losing everything, and having to go hide away. The more I ran, the more I tried to ignore or bury it, and the more the fear kept influencing my life. You will come to learn I am a sailor, a truly life-changing experience that taught me when you run from a storm, it will always follow you. It is best to harden your sails, turn the boat into the wind, and sail through it to get to the other side. And this is what I set out to do. Finally, after years of wallowing, it was time to face the storm. It was time to face myself. Down in the rabbit hole, surrounded by darkness, I found the light. There are stories of a wounded child growing up on a journey to find love, but who only found fear. Real love through the real protection of a stronger presence, not an Italian, kept me safe and strong enough to take this journey back into the light with you, my guardian angel, the essence of who I truly am. It is my truth through my eyes. However, I believe it is everyone's story to one degree or another, and I hope you take this journey with me. The Compass Rose Learning Center at udemy.com will have a series of lectures and videos on how I used a compass to find my way back to a healthy life. There will be a free introductory 10-minute video that explains the history of women's rights throughout the centuries, and that as a woman, I know I no longer need to have abuse as part of my life, and neither do you.